that I spent money on to make happen. I did it so I could like quickly do this, make you not be in the show anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy. This week's episode of Here's What I Don't Get is brought to you in part by Comeback Tours. Comeback Tours. After you've gone on a farewell tour, like, yeah, the band's over, we're not going to do any more tours. You wait about 18 months. Now it's a comeback tour. We're getting back together. You should be super excited. Here it is. Fucking buy some tickets. They're twice as much as they were last time. You missed out the last time, and you might miss out on the farewell tours. You better get to the comeback tour right now. Hello and welcome back to Here's What I Don't Get. From north to south, east to west, the only formerly international podcast, now intercontinental, to tackle all of life's toughest issues, and the longest consecutively running podcast on the See You Next Tuesday podcast network. I am your host here every week, and with me today, back again, finally, after this whole rotation of other lesser co-hosts, Tim Handbreaker.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm 28 beers to my night, so I think it'll be a good one.
You can do another 28?
I'm going to do another 28 on this show, yeah. This is the way I sound after 28 beers, so I'm a rampant alcoholic like John.
Amazing.
It is amazing. One of the funny comments, I went on WTP last week, or the week before, and drank 36 beers on stream, and one of the things someone was like, I guess watching at home, and their girlfriend came in and they said, is that Stuttering John? They get him on the show finally? That's a win. Fucking so Monday was Tony from Hack the Movies' new co-host of the show. Is his birthday. Do you know what he went out for his birthday dressed as?
Unless your birthday is on Halloween.
Also a good question.
Yeah.
But he posted a photo on Instagram of himself with Riley, at ASE Riley, who's been on the show, and he's wearing a shitty Party City cloak and a plastic crown. Like, he has a terrible Mad Cucks costume. It's embarrassing.
Wow. And yours is like, it's not like you spent $500 making yours.
No, mine is like a deconstructed. It's so he's I think he was going for Maddox's real costume, which is the plastic crown, and he wears this like cape that's velvet and has the like fur lining, and I lampoon that with my paper crowns and red towel.
Yes, which is somehow better than the like terrible Party City version of it.
It is. It's because it takes effort and care.
Yeah.
Right. It took like building that crown took time. It took finding all those paper crowns, and then like the red towel. You had to like deconstruct it to its essence. What is the essence, and what is the cheap essence of it? Not to like congratulate myself too much on that. How you been, Tim? How's your week been?
It's been good. It's been good. I saw Iron Maiden last week. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Big show. Like they like I've talked about, like a couple weeks ago I talked about, like, you know, bands doing too much for their stage, and I don't remember who said it, but like the more dancers you have, the less talent you have.
I think I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have any dancers, but they have like a huge stage show. And they really use like there's like they have giant, super complicated inflatables that they hoist up into the air during the show of like demons, and there's like a plane at one point. And there's of course, lots of pyro going on, braziers full of fire. It's pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of Iron Maiden. I don't think I can name any of their songs.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure you enjoyed it. I'm sure I would.
Oh, it
hate
was great.
I've just come to the realization that I just hate concerts.
Yeah,
in all their
I
forms.
think that's what it is.
I hate being backstage at concerts. I hate setting up concerts. But you know what? They pay, so I keep doing it.
Yeah, somebody's got to. I think even if because there was like a real fear the last couple years when everything shut down that like music venues wouldn't come back. I don't think so. I don't think they ever would have not come back.
I agree.
People want to go out and hear music.
I think what the risk was of the small local venues going under. Yeah, a big arena that's like the arena in Tulsa is managed by ASM SMG, which manages like arenas all over the country.
Yeah,
and so like SMG is not going to go under.
No.
They have enough operating expense money laying in wait to handle those kinds of things. But like the Shrine in Tulsa, or I mean, what is it? The Ideal Ballroom went under.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, the Vanguard is still open, but it's tiny.
Yeah, the Mercury Lounge, like places like that were because there was a movement, Save Our Venues, and people were like just giving money to venues because they didn't have anywhere to spend it to cover, like, help those places cover those costs. Because what didn't happen, what would have solved all of this would be if they had suspended mortgages, but they didn't suspend mortgages. They just suspended rent.
Yeah.
So if they had suspended mortgages, the mortgage owners would have then not charged rent, and then places would have been able to keep going. But they didn't suspend mortgage payments. They only suspended like the people who needed to pay mortgages getting their money. So they like killed. It was almost tactical in nature as far as like killing the middle class. And I just threw a comment up on the screen. It's the guy whose dick looked like he's taking a dump through his front hole. That's actually the way some people dump now these days.
Yeah,
because they got their plumbing all mixed up.
Yep.
Speaking of that, I had a meeting the other day via Zoom. I hate Zoom. I'm bringing it into the mini episode because we've already talked about it on this show before. But Zoom has completely killed the idea of like, oh, you're not here today, I guess you won't be in this meeting. Now it's like, oh, you're not here. Well, you can like get in on Zoom on your phone.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're at the grocery store, if you're at the like fucking whatever. If we have a meeting scheduled, you need to fucking be there. So I was in a Zoom meeting the other day, and they're like, all right, everybody go around the table and tell us your name and your pronouns. And I was like, oh, fuck. And fortunately, I had this like weird glitch where I have this weird glitch in Zoom where when I first join, it doesn't get my microphone.
Nice.
So that comes on, and I'm just like, I'm Tad Burt, blah 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 blah, and they're like, we can't hear you. I'm like, okay, hold on 1 minute.
Just go on.
And I just go on, and I like reset the bug, and
yeah,
I'm like, I'm unmuted. I don't know what the issue is. It's something in some argument in Zoom, but I was just like, I'm glad I can dodge that bullet because I hate that fucking conversation. Because you go around, everybody's pronouns are exactly what you guess they would be.
Yep.
And so it's like, what's even the fucking point? But we can't have that. You can't have that thing where like this, oh yeah, it's ma'am. You can't have that person sitting in the meeting like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go around the table with pronouns so we can figure out what the fuck this thing is over here. So we got to do it at every meeting, which is just it wastes so much time. It's even worse than, do you remember like when you're in school and it'd be like, all right, class, everybody, even all the way up into college, like, just go around, tell us your name, tell us your major, and give us a fun fact about yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
icebreakers.
My name's Tad Burt. My major is theater, and a fun fact about myself is that given the chance, I would kill everyone in this room. And then there's that uncomfortable laugh, and they're like, he's joking, right?
He's joking, right? Right?
No. God, yeah, so that's the new icebreaker.
You should
just be like, yeah, my name's Tad Burt. I work in theater, and here, if you want to take a peek at my genitals, they're right there for you. Fucking, you guess. Fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm a big fat guy with a beard with a wall of whiskey behind me. What pronouns do you think I might want to use?
Yeah.
Which is also great because everybody's like, they're like, where are you? Like, I'm at home.
Are you in a bar?
And so I have to like explain every fucking meeting. Like, yeah, my desk would normally be down in the not down in the dumpster. It'd be down
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would.
it'd be down in the basement, but then the basement flooded, so I just set up in here, and I have not had a chance to go set it back up down there. Eventually, I'll be set up, and I'll be in front of the like stone wall behind me, and I'll be like, "Okay, where are you now?"
Do you need help? Blink 5 times in a row if you need help.
Oh, it's such a joke these days.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed your concert, Tim.
Thanks.
Have you enjoyed not listening to the show every week, not doing thumbnails?
Yes. I think I talked about it last time, but I'm over that hump now. There's that hump where I was like, oh, I forgot to do it this week, or something. There's that back of the mind, something's going on. I've just replaced it with work.
Yeah, of course. Truckin' and Tuckin' was texting us the other day about helping his aunt move next week, and Tim's text was, "I'll try and keep that day free." I was like, I know exactly what that means.
Yeah, you know what that means.
You know that there might be a call on that day, but it hasn't gotten to you yet.
Yeah, or like, sometimes it's a day in advance, sometimes it's 2 days in advance, at the least,
Yeah,
or sometimes it's, hey, can you work? Can you be here in an hour?
They're still fucking emailing me, dude. I got emails this weekend, yesterday. I got an email and it was like, "Hey, here's our new proposed contract with one of the venues in town. What do you think?" Like, God damn it. Yesterday, I also got a call from one of the people that works at the arena in town looking for someone. And I was like, "Yeah, I don't work for them anymore. I moved to St. Louis. Please stop calling me." They're still going back and forth we got a proposal from the payroll company out there for like what they're willing to match of what this new alternate payroll company is willing to do.
Yeah.
It's like, well, they're willing to do like a third of what this other group is doing. But they're willing to do about 20% more than that, maybe 15% more than that. But only once they have enough money to cover themselves in doing it. It's like this other group, if you started them today, they would start doing all of those things today.
Yes. The whole payroll thing.
And nobody likes them.
No.
The only people that want to keep the current company are people who make money off of that company existing.
Yeah.
So it's just like, fuck those people. They have a vested interest in keeping them around. Like it's a conflict of interest for them to say, no, we shouldn't go with these new people that will pay 400 people on time the week that the work is done, and we'll have a fucking accounting of where the money went. I've been fucking caught up in these emails about someone who wasn't paying money for a call in April.
Yeah.
Because the payroll company just like skipped a whole sheet of paying people. And it's not even the first time that's happened. It happened all the fucking time.
2 of the checks I got last week, right? So 2 of the checks I got last week, one was for like 2 shows, fully paid. The other one was for a show I had already been paid for about a month ago for 1 hour's worth of work.
So they missed something.
They missed something and gave me a check for $14.
Yeah, because then they take all the taxes and shit out of it too.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking sick of these emails. Like, I don't work or live in Tulsa. I mean, what was the last time I was in Tulsa for the beer event we went to?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
I guess that we should catch up on that too. Tim and Truckin' and Tuckin' joined me for the shit show of a weekend we had with doing a show out there at my least favorite venue in town, and then also this beer event where we got to try all this great beer.
That was
and also terrible beer.
I want to go to that every year now. That was super fun.
Yeah,
you know me. I don't even.
Tim doesn't even really like beer. Yeah,
but they had enough like variety and choice and like that I could find stuff that was totally worth drinking.
Oh man, if that company ever Dark Dick Man just posted you should pay for an obituary and send a copy of the local paper with it to the boss there. Oh, that's an obituary for me, so they think that I'm dead.
Yes, yes.
I'm thinking I'm gonna post an obituary for the payroll company when they go under.
That would be funny.
Yeah, no, that event was great, and I think the reason why it's okay to like, even if you don't like beer, is because you get a 2-ounce beer glass. And so you get like a little sip of beer. You take your first sip. If it sucks, you pour it out.
You pour it out. Yeah.
And you're not pouring out like a big 16-ounce beer that you paid $8 for.
Well, out of the, we probably tried a couple dozen, right? 25 or so, I would say, around there, different beers, at least. And I only poured out 2 of them. And I think another 2 I chucked it down.
Mm-hmm. I think probably was in the same neighborhood. Probably tried at least one from every station, and there were probably 20 or 30 stations.
Yeah.
And then there were a couple I went back to, so maybe like 35. And
there was one I went back to like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. I probably tossed out 5 or 6 of those 35.
Partially because the one I tried like 5 times, partially because it was right next to those Wagyu burgers, but also it was very good.
Yeah.
You pranked me pretty good on trying one beer.
Was it the pickle beer?
The pickle beer. you told me like a bunch of people I know like said this was great, and I was like, okay, I'll try that. It's a pickle beer. I drank it. This is terrible. It's awful. And you're like, yeah, I have no idea what it's like.
I of course have no idea what it's like. I don't like pickles, but it was at an event that I did, and all these people were like, "This pickle beer is pretty good."
It's
like,
not.
Do you like pickles? Like, yeah, and like, does it just taste like pickle juice? Yeah, and that seemed to be good enough for them.
But yeah, no, that was a super fun event. Super fun.
We'll have to go again next year. Yeah. Tickets are only like $100 or something. Maybe
that's not bad for what? How long were we there? 3-4 hours?
Yeah, we got the VIP.
Early.
I don't know what the VIP ticket experience is. I know it's a little bit more, but yeah, we were there like well before it started. The thing about it though, even if you paid, that's worth it. We paid $100 for that fucking whiskey tasting. Yeah. We got less whiskey than was collectively in this glass,
and a cold meal,
and a cold meal that was awful. And so for the same price, you can go have 25 beers, and then it ended at 5 p.m. or something, 5 or 6 p.m. Right? So you could leave there.
No, it was getting dark by the time we finished.
By the time we finished loading out.
Yeah,
but as far as like if we just went to the event like as patrons,
sure,
you're getting out at 5 or 6 p.m. There's plenty of time to go drink for the rest of your Saturday night away, or like fucking go to a pool hall and shoot pool, or go fucking watch movies or something. You've got plenty of time to waste away the evening after trying 30 beers. But anyway, let's get into some issues. Tim, what's your first issue this week?
Here's what I don't get: too many second chances. So there's a movie that I am not excited about called The Flash.
With Ezra Miller?
With Ezra Miller. You know Ezra Miller.
The weird sexual pervert?
Yes. And they haven't officially said anything as of yet. But as of right now, this recording, that movie is still coming out.
How is that movie still coming? They canceled Batgirl, Supergirl.
Uh-huh.
Didn't they cancel something else?
They canceled a bunch of stuff that hadn't started filming yet. Yeah.
Some stuff that hadn't started filming, but Batgirl and Supergirl were both like Batgirl was 80% done.
95.
And Supergirl was 60% done.
They canceled the new Scooby-Doo movie.
That's right, the Scooby-Doo movie.
Because that was so far as into like being scored.
Yeah. So they canceled all that.
Yeah.
But they're like, but Ezra Miller, like, didn't he kidnap a girl or something?
Oh, it's crazy. I have a list of the stuff he has done.
Read this list and keep in mind, like, they were like, yeah, Batgirl's not going to make us any money, so we're going to go ahead and cancel and just take our losses. This is the list of crimes that Ezra Miller has allegedly committed since Justice League came out.
Let's see. not even since Justice League. This is like the last year and a half. Um, so in 2020, he went to Iceland, where he choked an anonymous woman at a pub before throwing her to the ground, which immediately
Okay, but what did she do? Like, we've all been in the pub, and this bitch is over there just like, and you just, I just want to choke her to death.
Yeah, but he's a movie star, so immediately there should have been something going on, right?
I'm going to choking women out rehab.
Yes.
I realize I've made a lot of I lost control of my life.
And so, as of this point in the timeline, Ezra Miller is being accompanied by a 55-year-old South Dakota medicine man and spiritual advisor named Jasper Youngbear, who's telling Ezra that he is the new Messiah, and that demons are after him to get him.
Ezra's the new Messiah?
Ezra's the new Messiah, and there's demons after him.
Okay.
So after that, he goes to Hawaii. He gets arrested twice while he's in there, twice in a week, I think, for disorderly conduct at a bar, and then allegedly assaulting a woman at a house party.
Again, what you do?
So
I'm still not seeing where the problem is, why this movie should be canceled now. Now that I'm actually hearing the allegations.
And so then he goes back to his Vermont farm called The Mountain, where he regularly hosts a group of mostly young women who are encouraged to leave their cell phones at an altar that he has created, made of bullets, weed, and figurines of the Flash.
Okay.
According to two people who visited the altar, they say that he would coerce these at-risk youths with visions of grandeur by promising to make them famous. So he's getting arrested a bunch.
When the documentary comes out in 20 years, they're going to be very famous.
Oh yeah. He is said to have verbally and emotionally abused those kids, and claims that this is the actual quote from Ezra Miller himself: "The Flash is the one who brings the multiverses together, just like Jesus."
He does realize that he's not the Flash, though.
No, that's the thing. He doesn't realize it. This is like Heath Ledger times 25.
Or Jared Leto.
Or any of the guys that have get into method acting. This dude not only believes he is the Flash, but he believes the Flash is also real and not him, but also the Flash is Jesus, and Ezra is the new Messiah.
Ezra, if you want to unlock your Speed Force power, there's a 16-digit code that can free you. You need to call the Here's Why I Don't Get hotline at 704-750-9434 and tell us that 16-digit code. That's it's going to be something like a V or maybe an M, possibly like an A on the card. Give us that, and then there's a 4-digit below that, and also the 3 digits on the back, and then your 5-digit zip code.
Yeah.
And with that, we can help unlock the Speed Force.
He also frequently talks about the metaverse and refers to his massive marijuana usage as medicine. He says,
just like every other pot smoker on the planet.
Yeah, he says that the spiritual practice is to be among the people, which in his terms means partying. He goes on rave benders for 2 or 3 days at a time. Apparently, he was also arrested at the Vermont farm on charges ranging from disorderly conduct to second-degree assault, and has drawn the attention of Vermont's Child Services, because there's children that live on that farm.
Just like every cult.
Like every cult. This really does sound like a cult. They said that he once burned a bunch of sage in the barrel of an AR-15. Earlier this year, he embarked on a road trip where he uploaded a video of him threatening to kill a North Carolina chapter of the KKK, which is probably the only good thing on this list.
Who has a problem with that?
Yeah,
I don't know. Choking out the women, they probably deserved it. I also don't like this implication where it's like, he coerced these women into coming up here and blah, 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 blah. Like, these dumb bitches want to become famous. They go fucking hop on the first famous dick they get sites for and then try and write it out until they get their own like fucking reality show or call her daddy, whatever fucking way that they can cash in. Like, they are just... Him being like, hey, I'm famous, do you want to touch my penis? And them saying yes isn't really coercion because they want it and he wants to give it to him.
Yeah.
It's like there was some fucking TikTok woman that posted about how some famous person is naming their kid with his wife, her name, and she's like, I'm so upset because I'm an Instagram model and I fucked this guy for like 18 months while he's married to this woman, and somehow she's the victim. I'm just like, you're a star fucker. That's we used to have a word for it. It was called star fuckers. They were women that tried to get in with famous men to then either marry them and steal their money or just like attain wealth and notoriety through it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, of course all these fucking women are flocking up there. He's famous. If you were famous, you'd have 30 fucking women following you too.
Yeah. So the worst one though is probably there's an 18-year-old environmental activist named Tokata Iron Eyes, who he is like particularly enamored with, I guess is the word. Mm-hmm. She has said that Ezra is Jesus, and she is an apocalyptic Native American spider goddess, and their union is supposed to bring about the apocalypse. The problem, though, the problem I see is that he met her when she was 12.
So? I know there's all this shit about grooming, and sure, like, I also believe that Hollywood is run by a cult of pedophile interdimensional space vampires that are trying to, like, steal all of our souls through the use of small hats. But all I'm saying is that, like, I don't know. I'm really tired of this whole idea of grooming where the line keeps getting moved. Where it's like, Leonardo DiCaprio's a groomer. He won't date a woman who's over 25. Like, yeah, he dates women from 20 until they're 25 and then dumps them. He's fucking famous.
Yeah.
He's going to find another 20-year-old that wants to hop on that dick next week, and he'll date her until she turns 25, and he'll dump her ass too.
Yep. So it's not illegal, right?
Yeah.
It's not even like, I wouldn't even call it creepy.
I mean, it depends on what the chance of meeting is, right? Like, you meet, I think Uncle Buck met his wife before she was 18. Like he knew their family through their church or whatever. And then a bunch of time passed and they got together when she was in her 20s. Like those kinds of things happen where you meet someone who's younger than you.
Yeah. It's called real life.
It's called real life. Yeah. I mean, when the girl that I dated in high school, technically speaking, it was illegal for 2 months when I turned 18 and she had not yet turned 18. But if you backtrack far enough, there will be a point in time where it was illegal for you to have been with your current and or former spouse or a future spouse. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But this girl's obviously a fucking lunatic. But we have to let women have their agency because feminism decided that women are people. If we didn't have feminism, then it'd be fine for the dads to be like, you're a dumb bitch. You cannot go out with Ezra Miller because he's a fucking sex pervert and a fucking creepy looking motherfucker. He wants to be they, them. You're retarded. And keep her home. But we've gone through all this fucking women's liberation. So dad's over there just like fucking watching his wife get railed while his daughter goes off to fucking join the sex cult in Vermont with Ezra Miller. He's like, have a good time, honey.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, apparently I love the way this was this is written. Quote: some people who know Ezra claim that the actor uses accusations of transphobia as a shield against any accusations of his wrongdoing. Apparently, if
just
someone,
like every other fucking tranny,
if someone pisses him off, they're transphobic or a transphobic Nazi.
And then nobody will learn from this.
Yeah.
Oh man, maybe we should stop like conflating all these words together and making everything the worst fucking thing in possible, or jump to conclusions about accusations. Nope. Just gotta defend this shit at all costs.
And then there was an update today to the whole Ezra Miller saga, which was that so this altar shrine thing that he has. Apparently, Ezra Miller freaked out recently, demanding that actress Susan Sarandon come pay tribute to his altar because she didn't invite him to one of her dinner parties.
Well, Ezra Miller and I have something in common because I also have beef with Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to go into any detail on that. I just hate Susan Sarandon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But they're still coming. This Flash movie is still going to come out. That's what the too many second chances
as of now, yeah. I mean,
see what I thought. I thought you were like coming in and trying to give like a coded thing where like I don't want these other co-hosts to be on the show. They all quit. And like Tony didn't quit the show, but he did let his own show fade into obscurity. So that's embarrassing. No, you're absolutely right. Like, there definitely comes a time where you have to just kind of be like, you are fucked up. My too many second chances. Like, it's one thing to talk about the celebrity world where there's a lot of attention, but there are too many second chances. Like even in the private sector that we don't see. One of the ones I told this story before, but I used to date a girl who worked at a NICU in a hospital, and so they would get like preemies and babies that be born addicted to drugs, or like if there were complications, they had to just get the baby out right away, or babies born with like congenital defects, like what's the retard kid in Breaking Bad have? MS?
I don't recall.
Cerebral palsy.
Oh yeah.
So you get like babies born with those kinds of conditions, and they need like extra care. So they would get that, and some of them it was just terrible stories where, the mother had there was some complication. They had to take the baby early, but they fought and they get the baby to grow up and it has a life. And there were all these like cards and stuff on the walls when you went in of like these kids who were treated in the unit, and then like it grew up to, this is my first year in college, and they said I wouldn't live. And it's like, man, what an incredible, like, just a heartwarming, inspirational story. And then there'd be the stories that I'd hear every now and again, and one that has just stuck in my mind for even all these years later. This woman came in. She gave birth prematurely to a baby that was born addicted to meth. It was like 12 weeks early or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fucking weeks are on babies, so I'm just pulling that number out of my ass. But it was a way too early of a baby. It was born addicted to meth, and this woman was in the lobby talking to like some family member, and was like, "Yeah, I'm hoping that they'll let me keep this one because turns out that," and this is like a total violation of HIPAA that I was ever even told this story. So I don't know. Go arrest her. The bitch. I don't even care anymore. The mother had like 6 kids prior, and every fucking one of them was because this woman was a prostitute and a crack whore.
Yeah.
It's like the kids all got taken away by Child Protective Services. And I was just like, why can't the government go fucking take this woman and fix her?
Yeah.
If you catch a stray cat, if they're like the pound, so when the pound catches an animal loose on the street, they will spay or neuter it, and then if they will re-release cats back into the wild. They'll clip the tip of their ear so they know that it's a fixed. It's like been treated. Let it back out in the wild to like kill vermin and then die. We can do that with cats, but we can't do that with people because that's fucking eugenics. So this woman is just going to be allowed to have like second chance after second chance to shit out another crack addicted baby to like fucking get put into the system. And this is why, like, whenever the abortion debate comes up, people, I tell this story too because I'm like, why don't we just have that, make that woman have an abortion? Like, there's no reason for her to have a kid. And they're like, are you implying that it's better for a kid to be dead than be in the foster care system? Abso-fucking-lutely! The foster care system is literal hell on earth. My mom did a fostering for a little while, and she did specifically fostering for at-risk needy kids. And we had this one kid that came and lived with us. He lived with us for like for a year and a half or 2 years. He had all of these like emotional problems. He was like developmentally delayed. And in a real family environment, he started to become normal. He had this terrible childhood. And so then he started not testing as being like on the at-risk spectrum.
Yeah.
So they transferred him from like at-risk troubled kid foster care to regular kid foster care. When they did that, they're like, yeah, we're gonna move him out of your house. Like, don't you think that part of this whole system of him being in our house is what led to him,
like some stability,
led to this improvement? And they're like,
yeah.
no big deal. So my mom tried to like switch, basically like it's like changing banks.
Yes,
and that didn't fly, and so he just got like fucking shit back off into the system. Good luck, fuck you very much, kid. Fuck, like no, I would never wish that upon anybody.
Yeah.
And so we just have this system where we'll allow these fucking things to happen to people, and we allow these second chances, and it's just like, you don't fucking deserve it. You don't fucking deserve a second chance. A child molester does not deserve a second chance. Fucking kill him. Fucking just no trial or anything. Guy gets picked up, fucking a kid. You put him in the back of the squad car. You drive him out to a field, and you just fucking blow his goddamn brains out. No more half measures, Walter. Just fucking kill him. There's no brought in the story last week about the guy that started shooting at Kyle Rittenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And he was arrested during the Kenosha riots, and then they let him go right away. Yeah. And then he fucking committed this whole string of crimes last week and got arrested again. It's like, these people are incurable. California is currently they're fighting in their Supreme Court about, I don't remember what the proposition is, but basically, if you're a second and third time offender, your sentence is compounded. And the fucking prosecutor's office, the DA, is fighting against enforcing these rules. They're like, oh, this is untenable. It's unfair to give these people a second chance. Like, the whole fucking problem with the system is that you haven't been following this fucking rule to begin with.
Yeah.
If you're on your fucking second and third strike, it's time to be removed from society. You do not deserve to be part of this fucking system anymore. I'm sorry. Like, this is why we have a fucking society. The whole fucking society, the whole reason why we've agreed to pay taxes is so people like you will take dangerous people like that and put them in a place where they can't fucking affect us anymore. We won't fucking do that. No. Fucking let them just keep on reproducing. That's why we need Homelessville. So I realized eugenics, Margaret Sanger, who founded Planned Parenthood in the 1920s, I realized she was a real fucking bad person, and her idea of eugenics was bad. But seriously, you might need a little bit of it to kind of fucking fix the planet.
Yeah.
Because we're just like, yeah, everybody loves a good redemption arc. Everybody loves a Robert Downey Jr. For every fucking Robert Downey Jr., there are 300 fucking just people addicted to meth out there, just fucking ruining everything around them. Just creating crack houses, fucking stealing gates. They're just out there ruining everyone's life.
And like you said, like everyone loves a redemption story, but how many like people that redeem themselves like end up bettering society?
It's a good question.
Like you said, like you brought up Robert Downey Jr. and like that's a redemption story, but he's an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in some of the biggest Hollywood movies of all time, but that could have been someone else.
Yeah, well, and it absolutely could have been someone else, and he has way more agency to like put weight on the scale for him being like a benefit to society, and then he can create a $50 million charity that like gives prosthetics to kids or some shit.
Yeah. I'm sure he's done plenty of that, but
there's nobody sitting at home just like, yeah, I wish those fucking kids wouldn't get any goddamn prosthetics. Like, you pick a charity like that no one's going to argue is maybe is a moral gray area. But for every one of those, it's just like a guy who got clean and then married a woman and shat out a couple of kids. And like teaches Bible study at his church. Like, is that guy really fucking, did he balance out the number of people he raped and murdered and fucking stole from? I don't know. And then, of course, my opinion will change when I'm finally busted for being a meth head and it's like stealing people's gates and shit.
And
I'll be like, no, give me a second chance. Give me a second chance. Anyway, that's a great issue, Tim.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the middle of our episode, which means it's time for
Cet épisode vous est présenté en partie par le réseau de nouvelles Rikita. Définitivement pas de fausses nouvelles.
Well, Tim, what news do we have today?
Whoa. Hold on. I had heard that this was. I had heard that you were doing this now. I'm not supposed to do any of this. This is
Someone
all on
else
you.
has to do the goddamn news. I don't like the news bit.
All right.
Behind baseball, I have never liked the news bit. I didn't like it when Buck did it.
Uh-huh.
I only minorly like it when you do it, but I keep
Yeah.
fucking doing it because people like the news bit.
I guess I'll do it. Our first news story comes to us from Australia, specifically Canberra. I guess that's a place in Australia. Two home invaders were confronted by an angry man in Canberra when they interrupted his cooking. Apparently, these guys broke their way into this house's garage. The resident was in the garage when this happened. They pointed a gun at him, demanded his car keys and his money. So one of them demanded the car keys and money. The other one hit him on the shoulder with a machete. They then went inside the home where the guy had a visitor who was cooking a cheesecake at the time. The visitor was holding a large carving knife, and he saw the intruders turn to him and said, "Well, you fucked my cheesecake. Game on!" And I guess
My
scared.
souffle?
He scared him off. They grabbed a portable safe on the way out, and they left. Yeah, I love that this guy was like, it's not like you broke into my buddy's house, I'm gonna get you. It's you messed up my you messed up my baking.
You messed up my cheesecake. Prepare to die.
Yeah.
Like the Princess Brides.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of food and bad things to do with them, our next news story comes to us straight from the FDA, the U.S. Food Drug Administration. Apparently, because this happens at least once a year, someone does something dumb, or at least pretends to do something dumb, and the FDA has to be like, "Hey, don't do that." A recent TikTok challenge is people cooking chicken.
Talking about second chances, TikTok, which was supposed to be like banned from America when Donald Trump was president, and they're like, then because it was owned by China,
yeah,
and then TikTok was like, oh, now we're owned by this subsidiary that's out of like Canada or some shit.
Sure,
and that subsidiary is owned by a
by
subsidiary
China.
that's owned by
course.
China. It's just like, why was that fucking given a second chance?
Yeah, too popular. It makes too much money.
Oh yeah, of course.
Do
you know anybody? Wait, hold on, Tim.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone that actually has TikTok?
Like as a creator or as a user?
Either. Because you don't have TikTok on your phone.
No.
I don't have TikTok on my phone.
No.
I think doesn't have it on his phone.
I think I've definitely seen a coworker scrolling through it on break.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's like for such a big app, I'm astounded that I don't know anybody that has it. I'm sure I know people now because of my new job. I work with fucking children, for lack of a better term.
Well, so I've talked with said coworker, and 50% of the content on there is just recycled.
Yeah, that's
the same way it
media
is everywhere. Where it's a video of a recording of a YouTube video. And it's like the YouTube video is like, hey, this person figured out how to get free Chipotle for a year. And then, like, you watch the YouTube video on TikTok, like, right? You watch their recording of the YouTube video, and then a guy pops up and be like, now I'm going to try it. And he tries it. He goes, it works.
And then your buddy takes that TikTok and shares it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then someone screenshots that and puts it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a YouTube video reacting to Twitter posts that are Instagrams of TikTok of YouTube.
So that's 50% of the content. And then 25% of the content is thirst traps. And then the other 25% are like people telling stories.
Way back, 1957, 58.
Yeah.
If you was black and an astronaut, you better work.
God, I haven't watched that in so long.
I fucking will never forget the old Negro Space program. It's one of my it's what the first YouTube video I ever watched, and it is still among my favorites.
Well, among my favorite things to do is to cook chicken in NyQuil.
What?
this is the new TikTok challenge: is chicken cooked in eating chicken cooked in NyQuil. Of course, the FDA has to say, "Hey, don't do that," because children are dumb.
This is why. That's a second chance for these people, right?
Yeah.
Fucking just eat the Tide Pods. Let them eat them. Let them drink the bleach.
Yeah.
Let them put light bulbs in their buttholes. Fucking let's people. Before the pandemic, there was all those like posts like, I'm not saying we should have euthanasia, but I'm just saying let's take the warning labels off and let nature take its course. The same fucking people are like, stay home and save lives, please. Oh God, please stay home. No, fucking let those people kill themselves. Jesus. You want to fucking eat a Tide Pod? Go right ahead, man. Try the Cascade Challenge next. Try it back to back. Drink some bleach. Fucking retard.
Yeah, if you're old enough to read the warning label,
Yeah, the Poison Control Hotline is for children. Children are like, and they're like, oh, this looks like Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Let me drink this NyQuil, and then pass out, and you're like, oh my God, my baby.
Yep.
Now, on the one hand, tragic that a child might die. On the other,
Uh-huh.
you kind of deserve it for being a shitty parent.
How did that kid get a hold of that?
Exactly.
Uh-huh. Well, we've got one last news story, and I love it. This is my favorite news story of the whole week, so I've saved it for last. The chief operating officer of Beyond Meat, Doug Ramsey, was arrested this weekend after allegedly biting a man's nose in an Arkansas parking garage following a college football game. So apparently, Beyond Meat
makes you want to be a cannibal.
It means human. Humans are the Beyond Meat. All along, we are Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
Beyond Meat is people.
Baby, the other white meat. Yeah, fucking, I'm all for it. No, I think it's funny that like that whole Beyond Meat movement, all those fake meat substitute things, and then because is Beyond Meat? No, it's Impossible is the one that they have at Burger King where it's like
That's
even
Impossible.
bleeds.
Yeah.
They're like going way further into replicating the real thing than I think is necessary. Because I dated a vegetarian, and her explanation to me as to like why these fake meat alternatives need to exist was that it allowed you to make old family recipes, and then you just substitute this other ingredient in instead of like chicken or you know, ground beef. And I thought that makes a certain amount of sense. You know, I have those like family recipes that I really love. I'd love to keep. If I decided to stop eating meat because I was like replaced by an alien, I'd want to be able to keep making them. But you know, as they've like they're trying too hard to sell it to. They're trying to get someone like me to be like, yeah, I guess I'll try it. I can't tell the difference. It even bleeds. Like, no, I don't eat a burger because it bleeds. I eat a burger because I like the fucking taste of red meat. Yeah,
Beyond Meat is the one that has gone furthest, more than Impossible, I think. They're the ones that you buy them in the grocery store, and it looks like raw beef. Like you buy like a thing of Beyond Meat, and it looks like it's pink, and you know, it looks like ground beef.
Yeah, they're there in it's like the meat aisle now is, you know, you have like chicken, pork, beef, and then you have this non-meat
other stuff.
There's seafood, and it's like I think they call it meat alternatives, and I'll like look in there, right? And I'll pull out a thing of sausage or whatever, and I'll put it in my basket, and then I'll go because I'll do cold stuff first, and then I'll work through the aisles. And somewhere in the aisles, I'll just set that shit like on top, and I'll put it on top because I'm tall. Because I think we read a news story about this. Those things are a loss leader. They pay the stores to have them in the stores and so even if it rots on the shelf, the store has made their money off of it. The only people that lose are Beyond Meat, and so I'm just fucking stealing money from them because I hate them.
Nice.
I hate them, and I hate vegetarians.
Well, I have a description of sort of what went down. The guy Ramsey allegedly punched through the back of a windshield of a Subaru after it made contact with the front tire of his car. The Subaru owner then got out, and Ramsey allegedly started punching him and, you know, bit his nose off. The victim and a witness also alleged that Ramsey told the Subaru owner he would kill him.
What are the chances, right, though, that like the guy's been so deprived of meat, and his body just really needs it. And he's in this like fight mode. He's got all these hormones pumping through his body
that he usually doesn't, because the Beyond Meat takes them away.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden his like animal instincts are just like, I need to feed. He just grabs that guy, just like and bites him right on the nose.
Yeah.
Bites it off.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine what that guy is going to go through for the rest of his life, though? Like, oh, Charlie, did you get a nose job? Like, yeah, yeah, I did. Why? I got in a parking lot fight with a guy and he bit my nose off. What the fuck? Yeah, it's even weirder though, because he was the COO of Beyond Meat, the meat alternative.
It seems like a setup for a joke.
It seems like an SNL skit.
Yeah.
Where it'd be like, oh yeah, this is the CEO of Beyond Meat, and he's like, yeah, let me tour your thing, and let me also, I see you have very strong thighs. Do you commit to a lot to leg day? And like the implication being that everyone that works there is a cannibal.
Yes.
Supplementality commented and said TikTok is worse than Mind Rot TV. So funny story. I was trying to find some stuff to pack into my Plex server so that I could start like watching things more on that and less on other services. And because I discovered that Plex has a shuffle button. You go in there, you like pick your TV show, you hit shuffle, and it's just like, here's a random episode from this show. Great. And so I was like, well, let me look up some like TV shows, because I've every so often like a show will pop up on Amazon or Netflix or something that like I wanted to watch when it was on but never did, and I've been catching up. Like I've been watching News Radio, so I Googled like best shows of the 1970s, and I kind of scrolled through the list. I added some stuff to some torrents. Best shows of the 1980s, looked at some stuff, added some torrents. Best shows of the 1990s, I added some stuff, looked at some torrents. Best shows of the 2000s. And it was funny because there was like all these categories that were kind of the same, procedurals, dramas, comedies, sitcoms, documentary, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. In the 2000s, this new category popped in, reality TV. But even in all the other like popular TV shows, there were dozens and dozens of reality TV shows. So then I did the 2010s, and it was 3 or 4 to 1.
Man,
reality to scripted television, and I was just like, this is fucking miserable. I cannot believe that. So when he says TikTok is worse than Mind Rot TV, I think TikTok is the next step. We've had 20 years of Mind Rot TV.
Yep.
It hasn't damaged us enough, so now we got to have it like fucking instantaneously on these little hate rectangles.
Because we had a term for it. It was channel surfing. You channel surfed, and if you didn't find anything, you just kept channel surfing until you found something that you could like have on in the background, or you turned the TV off.
Yeah, but then turning the TV off became less and less of a like option.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is people are proud of watching reality television. Like I've watched a few reality TV shows over the years.
Yeah.
I watched Survivor when it was first on because my mom was watching Survivor, and
I enjoyed it the first couple of seasons.
I wanted to watch TV as a child. Yeah. It was fine. It was like captivating. If you root for whatever team.
Mm-hmm.
The only reality TV show I think that I ever like really sought out was Storage Wars, but it was like a secret shame. I was ashamed of the fact that I watched Storage Wars. But now people are like, oh yeah, I love watching the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and the Real Housewives of Orange County and the Real Housewives of South County, the Real Housewives of New York City, the Real Housewives of Jersey, and the Real Housewives of this. And the shows are about like worse and worse people, and the networks are all like the names that networks had are now completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
The Learning Channel. TLC is the Learning Channel.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't know I was pregnant. I'm 500-pound life. Like I just married this person.
Weird addiction.
Yeah, it's just fucking weird shit. A&E, which used to be arts and entertainment, and it was like high concept documentaries and shit and old movies, is now just like
they would show the reruns of Inside the Actors Studio.
Yeah.
That's where I used to watch Inside the Actors Studio.
Because you didn't have IFL, IFM?
IFC.
IFC, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, and then everything's kind of like we talked about it a long time ago, homogenized. It's homogenized in
Yeah.
the same kind of shit. Discovery's a joke.
Celebrity ghost stories.
And it'll never, I don't think we'll ever get it back. Like the only thing that's going to get
No.
it back is like a nuclear war and eliminating the access to reality television.
Yeah.
Or us being in such a struggle that someone's reality, because it was supposed to be escapism. Like television was escapism. You'd watch these fantastical stories, like that's what sci-fi and fantasy is. Or you'd watch these sitcoms where like you take something that's kind of familiar and twist it up to being silly.
Yeah.
Or these dramas where very heavy things happen. But it was a way for you to like distance yourself from your real life. But now we want to watch other people's lives for some fucking reason. And it's not simply good enough to watch 45 minutes a week. No, I need to see like a live feed. I need to know I need Tim to stream himself watching the concert right now. I don't need him to wait a week and then post 5 images on Instagram.
There was a guy in front of me and to the right of me. The entire show he was streaming to Facebook Live.
Yeah.
The entire show.
So last week I did my first glass blowing class, or the week before, and someone else had done a glass blowing class either the week before or earlier in the week than mine was, and it was just they like posted all on Instagram, and then the glass blowing studio shared their posts, and they're just like taking pictures of each other doing stuff, and I was a solo act, like it was just me and the instructor working on my pieces, and I was like, I don't see how I could even possibly have time to get my phone out of my pocket, let alone once I was done and like gone home and I was texting someone, they're like, oh, did you take any pictures? No, I was working. I worked for 2.5 hours at a fucking furnace that's 2,000 degrees. I have 0 photos of it.
Yeah.
But you know what I do have? An enrichment of my life and good memories.
Yeah.
And I'll have some pieces of glass later this week. So.
Yeah, like, you know, I snap a couple photos, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
1 or 2 per act usually, and that's for me, I share them sometimes, but the guy was he was so close to me that I could see that he was on Facebook Live specifically, and I could see his viewer count.
Yeah,
I could see his viewer count because it went from no icon occasionally to 1 occasionally. Back and forth.
Yeah, you're streaming to nobody, and you're watching. You have to bring this little TV with you to then watch the TV, watch the thing you're doing. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand that. I like the people that post just ad nauseum on Instagram, like I'm out at the like farmer's market. Look at this shit. Like fucking put your phone in your pocket and live a life. Yeah, I don't have a lot of photos of what I do, but I do have a really good memory of what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about them.
Yeah, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts to see these kinds of people. Anyway, well, this has been
Le réseau Nouvelle Rikida, définitivement pas de fausses nouvelles.
And that takes care of our legal obligations this week, Tim. But you know what it doesn't take care of? What? Money for more concert tickets. If you want to go see some concerts, and we'll live stream them to you, I will. You can visit us at patreon.com/HWIDG, which stands for
Here's What I Don't Get,
which is the name of the show. And over there we have 5 tiers. We have the $1 tier, which gets you early access to each week's episode, plus our monthly minisodes. We have our $2 tier. We do throw the random bits and bobs. I think Buck and Chaco are talking about doing a retro-sode at some point soon. So it'll be just an episode with them. We have our $5 tier where we drop the hate and talk about what's great. And here's what I do get: a bonus episode that I think the way the format of the bonus content is going to be like this. I'm going to start scheduling these episodes in advance now that we've rotated through all the hosts. Yeah. I'm going to start scheduling these episodes in advance. And I'm going to say, like, all right, we're going to be recording. Tim and I are going to be doing a bonus episode on Thursday at 7 p.m. And then if Buck and Chaco or Tony want to join and also bring in a bonus episode issue, or just be like, just shoot the shit, weigh in on ours, that's what the bonus episodes are going to be. So we'll do a rotation so that, one person has each thing per month, and that's what's going to be moving forward. So that's my thought. Anyway, let me know what you think. Everybody that isn't Tim, I don't give a shit what you think, Tim. Fuck you. This show is about me now. Also, you can. We have our $10 tier where you, the fan, submit a film. You vote on what film we watch, and we vote on it and record a feature-length movie commentary. And we have our $50 Spite Producer tier where you get a say in the show. You can ask for like a special bit to be done every week. You can ask for a format change. You can ask for special bonus content. Anything that you want that we can feasibly deliver, we will deliver. And now we have, 1.5 times as many hosts to deliver that content.
Yeah.
So we will be doing our utmost to fulfill that for you. And we thank all of our patrons, big and small, for doing this. Without you, the show would not be possible.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
I was going to say, I think I have a movie suggestion. Now, so if we don't do a commentary on it, we have to at least watch it because it's been recommended to both of us by a former coworker of yours and now current coworker of mine. I won't tell you exactly what it is, but I will say
there?
It comes on this. That is it's a DVD set of 10 horror films.
Okay.
And you've heard of none of them. That's about the quality of this film. I'll tell you that.
So it's a former coworker of mine, but he didn't recommend the movie to me.
No, he recommended it to me, and I was like, he talked about it to me, and I was like, that sounds terrible and great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very confused. Well, maybe we'll do that. Although the only we'll figure that out. Anyway.
Sure.
So let's get back to some issues, Tim. Here's what I don't get. Wiccans. Now, in 1817, 16, whatever, in Salem, Massachusetts, they had witch trials and they burned witches at the stake. There was some witch shit in England prior to the Great Enlightenment, the Enlightenment period, I think. Basically, it was superstitious people blaming people, trying to like find a scapegoat for their problems.
Yes,
it wasn't good. It was bad. In Salem, it was girls using their power to punish the people that worked against them. A lot like Mean Girls. I would really love to see an interpretation of Mean Girls set in Salem, Massachusetts.
That'd be funny,
right? That's what they were doing. Like, women have always been terrible. And no, they're not putting it together historically. Women are the cause. What caused all that shit with the fucking Trojan horse? Tim?
Helen,
a goddamn bitch ruined fucking Troy. Can you believe this?
Yeah.
She sent, like, if it hadn't been for Helen, Odysseus wouldn't have been trapped for fucking 20 years trying to get back to his family. Women have ruined everything. I'll bet you, everyone thinks that Hitler went into politics because he didn't get into art school. I bet it was some bitch being like, your mustache is silly, I don't want to fuck you. And he's like, you know what? And her name was probably like Emma Kleinstein or something. And he was like, you know what? I'm killing all your people. He just fucking lost it. What no pussy will do to a guy. We all know it. We've all seen it.
It sounds like an alternate universe Seinfeld plot.
Okay, it might be. So anyway, all I'm saying is like women are crazy, but I always thought that there was like a rational part of the planet of people who were like, witchcraft isn't real.
Yeah,
but there are people out there that think that shit is real.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago, I'm in Carl's Discord, the WTP Discord, where we exclusively shit on Stuttering Johnny use slurs about his kids that Carl owns, and every so often he'll like DM you and he'll be like, "Hey Tab, I don't want to do it because all the lawsuit business, but if you go in there and like talk about what a piece of shit Stuttering John is, and maybe use some slurs, that'd be great." And I'm like, "Yeah, Carl, no problem. I covered that for you right away. Let me hop on there. Any slurs in particular you want?" And he'll send me a list.
Yeah.
He's got he knows all the slurs. Like, he's such a racist. It's awesome. So anyway, I was in there. We were changing slurs, and this person joins, and they start being like, Stuttering John and Carl are the same person. And we had this whole debate a couple days prior with someone about how Stuttering John and Carl are the same person. And I asked them like 14 fucking times what they meant by that, until finally they answered by saying that Carl needs Stuttering John and Stuttering John needs Carl, which is a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
Not being the same fucking person, you dumb asshole. So then a new person comes in and being like, Stuttering John and Carl are the same person. And I was like, we just had this conversation, retard. What is your problem? And anyway, it ends up getting all kinds of devolved. It starts talking about how Dick Masterson's a witch. And like, if Dick Masterson...
Hold on. He's not a witch. He's a warlock.
He's Dick Warlock, yeah. And if Dick would like actually use some warding spells, like he'd have much better fortune in his life, but he's definitely like manipulating the strands of the universe or some shit.
Yeah.
And then this person is like, I'm going to go ahead and hex Carl. I'm going to hex Carl with my magic. I'm going to hex Carl with my magic. And I hope that it spills off into you because they were so mad at me.
Wow.
I was like, then why don't you fucking hex me, you retard? Yeah. Like, no. Carl's the problem. Carl created this platform for all you terrible people to get together. And I was like, whoa. I was a terrible person long before I met Carl. Thank you very much. So they start posting all these fucking pictures of like sigils and parallelograms in other circles and like stuff written in Hebrew, and we are just fucking laughing it up. It is the most entertaining night on Discord, I think, since the first night I ever joined Discord. So I hopped in and I was like, hold on, I'm gonna cast a spell against you. And I started drawing on this piece of paper just some random shit.
The Illuminati.
And the thing is that this is the end of the night. Like I started out very small, and then I just kept adding to the sigil to like send it out to them and be like, so I drew Sonic on here so that it take place very fast. You should watch the video. I added like some stuff about your mom so that it would take effect against that person's mom. There are stars. There are triangles.
I see a DNA helix. No tag backs.
There's a piece of pizza to protect Vinny.
I thought that was the Illuminati symbol.
I put no tag backs on it.
Yeah,
so
of course.
They can't send it back against me. I put that cool S we used to always draw.
The Stussy S. Yeah.
Ritual protection, and then plus 10 emotional damage.
Oh man.
So I'm drawing this shit, and this person's like, holy shit, you hexed your mom. Like, this shit's gonna be you gotta fix this. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing. And they're talking about how like when they cast the spells, it like comes back on them threefold. So hex Carl, they're gonna have like a bad couple of days. I was like, then fucking hex me, man. Like, no, you're not worth the pain that I would take. Like, as long as you're playing pretend, why don't you just pretend that there are no side effects to you?
Yeah.
You fucking moron. And they're like,
oh man,
this is gonna come back on you. You're gonna have such a bad day. And let me just tell you, it has been nothing but red letter days since making this fucking helix. God. Like, I cast it against retard. Like, it's just a circle drawn. But this person was so fucking serious. It was hilarious. Like, I'm still laughing about it. I laugh so hard on just talking about this that I'm crying. I drew a dick. There's a dick on there, so you can suck it. My particular favorite. Oh no! Sorry, it's not Sonic. It's Sonic Chew. So that it happens really fast, and also it's an electric type Pokemon.
Yes.
I cannot believe people will take this shit seriously.
No.
Like there's that. It takes people make fun of people. Those same types of people will make fun of someone for being like devoutly Christian, and then they'll be like, "Yeah, but I like gotta burn sage. I gotta burn salt. I gotta light like 16 candles,
and I gotta get
house.
energy from crystals.
Yeah, I got all these crystals, and it's just like you're doing the same shit. You're just instead of idolizing a dude on a tee, you're idolizing rocks.
You know why?
Minerals.
You know why? Here's why. Because like any other theology doesn't have like a cool vibe to it, right? You can't like if someone's house is the typical Christian or Catholic home with and is dressed up like that with crosses on the wall and all that stuff, like that's not a cool like look. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not stylish, right? But like, to like that's not stylish to anyone. Like almost no one likes that sort of likes that style. But to a lot of people, like the the like animal bones and crystals and like raven feathers and like cool goth stuff looks cool.
Yeah, that's fair. I was also going to say that I think it's appealing because there are no rules, right? If you're a
Yeah.
Christian, you shouldn't be like sleeping around. You shouldn't be like doing drugs. There are these rules that exist.
Yeah.
The same thing with Judaism and Islam. Whereas if you're like a Wiccan, you can be like, yeah, I smoke weed all the time because like it helps get me in tune with the fourth dimension.
Yeah.
Whatever fucking bullshit excuse you have. Yeah, I smoke lots of crystal meth because like the crystals help align my chakra, and also it keeps like my teeth from feeling funny.
Yeah.
And like you're able to excuse a lot of aberrant behavior by being that you pretending that you're Wiccan, but in the same way that someone who's devoutly religious would be offended by you like walking around doing the sign of the cross for no fucking reason. And then being like, look at me, I believe in Catholicism. I'm a retard. When you draw like all these sigils out to they're like, oh, it's fucking super serious. Like, it's like hypnotism.
Yeah.
Right. You have to have like a certain personality type to be hypnotized. I did a show recently with a hypnotist.
Oh, really?
And So he's got the whole audience. He's trying to find his like top 10 candidates to be like in the show.
Yeah.
And he has everyone put their hands together, like fingers crossed, all interlaced like this. And then he's like, all right, now imagine that they're, listen to my voice. Your hands are now super glued together. They can't come apart. Right. And a lot of people do this and they're like, my hands come all the way
because
apart.
that's not real.
Because it's not real.
Yeah.
They have like they're much more logically brained versus people who are much more like less logically brained are sitting there like, oh my God, I can't get my hands open. What is happening? And then he walks up and he's like, let me release you like this. And they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. I'm astounded. And he brings those people up there and like hypnotizes them. And then one of them ended up in the emergency room. It was wild.
Okay.
He got over hypnotized.
Wow.
It was awesome. So anyway, watching all that stuff, you can look at that crowd and be like, oh, those are people that believe that witches are real.
Yeah.
Because they're suggestible. Even if you don't believe that witches are real, if someone were to like if you were to go somewhere and have them align your chakras, you'd be like, I do feel a lot better. Like, yeah, imagine that, sitting for 5 minutes without your fucking phone and breathing and like focusing your brain makes you feel a lot better than constantly being distracted by every fucking noise in your life because you don't take time to decompress per day.
And I love those people will also like, if someone has if someone just likes the vibe or the aesthetic of it, they will get onto them about how, you're not using that for the right purposes, or but it's like no one's going around. There's no Catholics going around being like, you can't be eating the crackers and wine.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Or we've kind of moved past like the intra religious feuding in Christianity, where like people are like, oh, if you're like Baptist, you don't put Jesus on the cross, but if you're Catholic, you do put him on the cross, or maybe it's vice versa, and those kinds of like fucking disagreements. Just kind of like, you fucking do your shit with the cross, we'll do our shit with the cross. We'll fucking figure it out in heaven. Those people will like shame you for, oh my God, whoa, if you just like say you have a quartz collection because you're into minerals, they'll be like, oh, you can't put the amethyst and the pure quartz next to each other because it'll like redefine the lasers and fucking fuck up your feng shui. And like all those kinds of silly things. You feng shui, you're not supposed to put your back to the door, and like I don't like to have my back to the door because I don't want someone to walk in whatever door I'm at, look at my computer and be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're supposed to be working.
Yeah.
Right. But I can't tell anyone that. So instead I say it's bad feng shui. Bad feng shui to have your back to the door. Like it's one thing to kind of justify, adopt those little pieces, but like these fucking hardcore Wiccans, man, they are nuts.
Yeah.
I remember when the war with Ukraine broke out, there was a post on like Wicca forums or whatever, and they're like, oh, by the way, don't try and go up against Putin unguarded. He's like a level 10 sorcerer. You're in danger. I went back and I barely made it back with my chakras intact. And it was like the Poe's Law. I'm reading this post. And I'm like, I have no idea if this is a joke. If I don't know if this person is writing this joke for the sake of joking, or if this person is writing this and is like dead serious.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But the fact that it's the fact that it's so funny as a joke, but then also might be real, is really telling as to like what the fuck you believe. Yeah. And so we talk about it's always women. Like you don't know any fucking male warlocks. And the other funny thing about it is like I read books about tarot and palm ministry and numerology and all those kinds of things because I love Harry Houdini.
Oh yeah,
And Houdini in his later years was a debunker. He's like the original debunker of mentalists and seances and shit. So he would go to seances and just be like, yeah, this guy's fucking with the light switch over there. What's fucking happening? And just would prove all this shit wrong. And so in order to be armed against those kinds of people, I read about what they're doing. And it's all interpretation.
Yes.
Like you take your astrological sign as, you know, so I'm a Taurus because I was born between April 20th and May 20th. And like that's a month of days. You read the horoscope, it's about nothing. And it's supposed to apply to everyone who was born in this wide range of days. But the thing is, you read that horoscope and it's like, you're going to have a monetary gain today. Right. And then like I'm doing the laundry. I'm like, oh my God, $20. That's amazing. But then it was also like a mysterious stranger will offer you some candy or something. And nobody talked to me today because I stayed inside my house all day because it was a day off. And I just ignored that part. I'm just like, I'm not going to pay attention to that. Yeah. It's like this Wiccan shit. It's a way to like blame the fact that you're constantly in having aches and pains because you're fat and ugly. And then pretend that you have power against some stuff by like burning some sage and having these little rituals and like doing this stuff. Like, oh yeah, if I just sit in this chair and spin around 3 times, I get to be Queen of England. Because the gods of the sun have decreed, because I've cast this spell that would curse your man bun, and you're going to hell, Tim. Just like fucking wild, retarded nonsense. Yeah. And I like it should just be a question. When we talk about how the world is supposed to be a democracy or whatever, and everyone has same voice, same vote, if you go into the fucking voter registration, you're like, hey, do you believe in like Wiccans and like drawing sigils and shit? And you say yes, like, yeah, sorry, we're not taking that today. You don't get to do this. Goodbye. Have a nice one. Have a nice life. You're not part of the process. You're an idiot. Go work at Wendy's. The most holy of the fast food chains.
Oh, of course.
Anyway, yeah, so that's what I don't get. I don't get Wiccans. I don't get how you can believe any of that shit.
No, I mean, I hate to say it, but, you know, you might be right. I mean, with the, you know, the men, you talked about the hypnotists and how, you know, people that are, I don't know, less logically minded. I mean, no, there's no smart people out there that are doing this stuff.
Yeah, there are no Fortune 500 CEOs, I'm sure. I'm sure like people have weird superstitions and they have like,
of course,
rituals and things. Like I have a hat that I wear during shows, and it's a show hat. It's in a box labeled show hat, and I put it on during a show.
Yeah,
it's not because it's like lucky or anything. It's just a tradition that I have.
Yeah, habit and tradition.
Habit and tradition. Yeah. So like we all probably have some stupid thing, but none of my traditions or habits or superstitions do I think can affect someone else.
Yeah.
Like one of my habits when I mix a show, if I'm mixing a show, I don't like to hang out in the theater during intermission. And part of that is like an emotional thing where I don't want to like be around people. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to like get out of my focus zone. And part of it is also that by getting up at the final beat of the show and being sometimes out of the building by the time the lights come up, I'm outside and it's quiet and I'm allowing my ears to recalibrate for that 15 or 20 minutes to not like be talking and not being exposed to excessive noise. So when I go back in for the second act, I can go back in recalibrated back to like a new baseline. So it's like but if I don't do that, I'm not like, well, if I don't fucking walk around the building, because the thing was, when I was in college, I used to walk out and I would walk around the building. And I wouldn't walk around the building like a certain number of times. I would just walk around until I got all that nervous energy out.
Yeah.
Or until I ran out of time. And most of the time I'd like walk out all the nervous energy after a couple of times. And then I'd just sit on the steps and just like sit quietly and think for 5 or 10 minutes. And then I'd go back in and do the second act. I don't think that like, well, if I don't walk around these buildings 3 times, then I'll curse the actors and they're all like get fucking AIDS and explode in fire during act 2. Just something that I did. That's a habit that I continue to do, and I've done now for fucking 10 years, and I can't explain it to you. So anyway. Well, that's it. This has been our show. Episode 303. 304?
304.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. Actually, I think I keep forgetting to save that when I do that. So anyway, well, this has been Here's What I'll Get. I'm Tab Burt.
I'm Tim the Handlebreaker.
Catch you guys next week.
See ya.
If you want to call in the Here's Get hotline, call us at 704-750-9434 and tell us what you don't get. Or you can visit us on Discord under the voicemail upload channel. We'll also play them from there. So here we go. Oh, wait. You know what? I got to cue this up. I want to fuck that up again.
Hey guys, it's Sage. So, Player 4, I'm, as long as I'm not working, because I just changed to a new job, and it's actually like a great job that I do not want to lose. So, as long as the fight is like kind of around the days that are my days off, essentially, Jesus Christ, I'm fucking driving and traffic's terrible. As long as I'm able to go, fuck yeah, I'll fight you at the next event, whatever fucking event it is. I don't give a shit. Fuck you. Yes, I've been in tons of fights. It's been years because I'm not a child and I don't really fight with people anymore. But yeah, no, I'll fight your pussy ass. Talk shit, get hit. Fuck you.
So sounds like we got a fight. I think in the next WATP or Dick Show Live.
So there's a Player 4 has entered the battlegrounds, I guess.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, Player 4 called in, throw his head in to say, I want to also fight Sage. I really want to see Sage in like a spit swapping makeout match with Dead Helm, Mr. Kill Everything, and now Player 4 just like fucking beating off one guy after another.
A Shoots and Ladders match.
Shoots and Ladders match.
Yeah.
Alright, so since Sage wants to be a fucking internet tough guy, you know, it's been 7 years since I last...
Oh. Tim, you didn't catch that episode, but in the voicemail, a couple weeks ago, Dale called in and he's like, yeah, so I peed the bed till I was 15, so what? So this is what this is in response to.
Just the bed, I'm a full-grown man baby now. I'm fucking 21, okay? You fucking asswipe, alright? I'm fucking... Yeah, fuck brain. Fuck my brain. It doesn't work. But it's not gonna work when I fucking beat you in the ring so you won't fight me. Fucking come to Fort Worth, pussy. I already told you. So you're like, oh, I'm not gonna fight you because I'm a fucking tough guy and I'm not gonna fight you because you're gay. I'm like, no, fucking fight me, dude. You got a problem, fight. Or, you know, instead of being like, oh, you're so fag, bro. You're so fag. Fuck on, grow up, faggot.
1 big Tim, 3 little tabs. For people watching the stream at home. There's another Dead Helm one, but I don't think it's regarding the fight, so I'll go ahead and kill the soundtrack. There is a Player 4 voicemail from this week, but looking at the transcript, I believe it's meant for Tony from Hack the Movies. So I'm trying to curate the voicemails, not to not play anyone, but I will try and play your voicemails on an episode related to if there's a host you want to talk to. So if you like say their name, like hey Tab and Tim, or hey Tab and Buck, or hey Tab and Chaco, or hey Tab and Tony, your first like little bit, I'll just save it. A couple weeks later, I'll play it when they're on. So this one is for Tony, so I'm going to save it. But this one's also from Dead Helm.
Hey, here's what I don't get. Fumbling up the goal line. Instead of being like, hey, how about I'll piss in your bed, Sage? I go on this little autistic rant and be like, fuck you, you're a nerd. No, bro, I'm going to piss in your bed. And fuck you and your dad.
If only I hadn't played that other voicemail first. Shit.
Yeah.
That's such a catchy song.
It is.
It's great. Let's see. I've got Matt from Minnesota, another voicemail, and then one that came in while we were recording today. What's your preference?
Oh, just anyone. Let's go.
Hey, Tab and guest. Matt from Minnesota here. I got a quick don't get, and that is branches that hang low over sidewalks. I'm slightly taller than average, not cute, but I was walking my dog last night trying to listen to your appearance on WATV.
WKTV.
Dear God, Tab, that was some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. I had to switch from audio format to over to YouTube just to see the accumulation. Sorry to shame you, but holy fuck, I was watching it and I was so entranced at the review segment while walking slow branches, and I got pretty pissed off about it. So that's my don't get. Great appearance on WATP, Tab. That was awesome. See you next week. Peace.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun doing that episode. Here's what I don't get: the color temperature on my external camera, the color temperature on my built-in laptop camera, and the color temperature on my Mac camera, all totally different.
All different.
The Mac camera makes me look like I'm fucking just blushing like a whore in church. It's ridiculous. It's one,
super blue.
I look purple. I look like I look like that guy in the meme who's punching down everything. I look like Kevin Smith in every fucking photo he's ever taken. Have you noticed that? Like he's doing a tour he's doing a publicity tour for Clerks. There's all these pictures of Kevin Smith, and he looks like every fucking one of his pictures. He looks like he's holding his breath and trying to push out his asshole. And so he's he's doing the thing where you put your tongue on the palate of your mouth to it draws the bottom of your chin in, and he's standing up fully straight and he's holding his chin forward to try and eliminate any chance of a double chin because he lost a lot of weight, but then he's also not showing his teeth and everything's
You're
tense
totally
about him.
right.
It's fucking freaking me out. And there'll be photos from multiple angles and it's just like he's about to explode.
Yeah. Wow. Even
it's creepy as fuck. He used to take pictures like a normal guy, where a normal fat guy was just arm around your butt, just hey, it's fucking great to see you, man.
I'm looking at non tabloid photos. Like this is a picture from Jason Mewes's cell phone of him and him. Or even in selfies and fan photos.
Yeah, the only selfies he doesn't look like he's holding his breath, the ones where he's fucking crying over some Marvel property. I just finished watching The Woman King, and it's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And it's always this extreme close up of just everything from his upper lip to the middle of his forehead, and just tears running down. And
it's
why are you proud of this, dude?
Every photo he's taking looks like he's on his tippy toes trying to peek over a wall.
He's coming here for the Clerks tour in like next month or a couple months. And so like for $125 you get to see the show. For $125 more bucks you get to meet Kevin Smith.
Uh-huh.
And I was really thought about buying a ticket and then just being like, Kevin Smith, you fucking suck. Everything about you sucks. You lost all your edge. Fuck you. You should have stopped making movies after Clerks 2. Get fucked to death. And then just like wait for security to escort my ass out.
Yep.
Patreon.com/HWIDG. Someone should spite producer that. But you got to cover all $300 of the ticket. Because I also probably won't be allowed back in that venue ever again.
Yeah.
Here's one from Sage, but I don't think it's about the fight.
Hey guys, Sage again. So here's what I don't get: the fucking California fires. Like, why the fuck is it that they just cannot control their fucking forest fires ever? They
don't want to.
Everyone pretends like firefighters are fucking heroes and shit. Firefighters in California don't do fucking shit. We have like 1,000 fucking fires going on in California, and no one's fucking doing anything. Oh, we're supposed to be containing this. And then they fucking look away for 8 hours because they're a bunch of lazy fucks who don't do their fucking jobs, and they just sleep instead of fucking watching the fire like they're supposed to. And then, shut up, Car. And then they fucking just let the fire go, and it goes into another fucking area and spreads. Like, you are fucking worthless. Fuck California. Fuck California firefighters. Fuck all firefighters. Fucking faggots. Jesus Christ. All right, fine.
You know, actually, it's not the firefighters; it's land management. Like, that's not to be like, oh, not all. The firefighters just put out fires, and most of their like wildfires, they bring in the like municipal firefighters to go fight them. Also, you have like wildland firefighters, which are separate, but those are like small local groups. If you have like a big thing, you have to bring in anyway. I know a firefighter in California, so that's why I bring this up. But their land management policies are so garbage that they are like they are creating the perfect atmosphere for wildfires, and then because they don't fucking like they'll pass shit about you not having having a small gasoline engine, or you need to have an electric car, but they won't fucking do anything about clearing out the underbrush or doing controlled burn-offs to get rid of this stuff, creating burn lines. None of that shit is a part of their like. Do you notice how areas around California don't have massive wildfires all the fucking time? Same types of environment, yeah, but they're not fucking having the problems because they have proper land management policies. God, they're the whole fucking state. They should just wall the whole place off and lock those people away. All right, two more.
Hey, I just want to get some clarification on the peeing your pants situation. Do piss driblets count? I mean, that would suck if piss driblets count.
So Tim, Tony was asking last week if you were to, let's say you're drunk,
okay,
and you had to pee,
okay,
and you go to the toilet,
okay,
and you undo your pants,
mm-hmm.
but then you don't get your dick out far enough,
yeah,
and you piss all over your pants.
Okay.
Do you feel that you peed in your pants?
Ooh. Huh. You definitely made a mess.
Yeah. But did you pee your pants?
No.
Oh, I'm yes.
You're yes? It's
very
very
So
very
here's
close.
the fucking question now then. That's the breakdown.
Okay.
You go to pee, you don't get your dick out far enough, you pee all in your pants. Did you pee your pants? I'm 100% you peed your pants.
It's a very close line.
It's not a close line at all. If you got the pee outside of your pants, you didn't pee your pants. You got the pee in your pants, that's peed pants.
Yeah,
the only way you didn't pee your pants is if Tim, you walk up to the toilet. This is gonna get very gay. You walk up to the toilet, and for whatever reason, you're like Pepe the Frog, and you put your pants down around your ankles. It feels good, man.
like a 3-year-old or whatever.
And drunk me wanders up behind you and pisses into your pants.
Okay, that's what I was
you're
going to say. I was
That's
saying, like,
me
what if you
peeing
took
your
off your
pants.
own? What if you took off your own? Right?
You take your pants off and then you pee on them?
yeah.
You still peed your pants, man. Doesn't matter what the fucking situation is. Anyway, so that's the argument. Everybody weigh in.
Okay.
I will say this: piss driblets, not you peeing your pants.
No, absolutely not. That's
That
100. That's a 100% universal.
That's
Yeah.
what piss driblets are is like stuff left in your chute that for whatever fucking biological reason just doesn't come out.
Yep.
And I can't explain why that happens, but that's not peeing your pants.
Yeah.
Also, it's such a small amount. We're talking like 2-3 drops
Yeah.
that it's almost irrelevant as far as the piss driblet situation goes. Whereas if you were to, in Tony's case, not get your dick out far enough and saturate your pants with piss, you pissed your pants. You're a pants peer. Sorry, Tony, you're a pants peer. Anyway, all right. This one came in while we were recording, and it's long, and there's transcription not available.
Hello, Tab. I'm enjoying the show in its new format. Keep it up. So first off, I'm calling because a while ago you were talking about concerts and what makes a good concert and what makes bad concerts. Well, I had some disagreements on some things you're saying. First off, I'll start off with the showmanship and like having all this flashy stuff, pyrotechnics, light shows. So I just went to Boston to go see a band, Rammstein, live. I have seen them before.
They put on a show.
Probably one of the greatest performances I have ever seen, and they use all these light shows and pyrotechnics to enhance the show. Plus, they rewrite their songs to a degree to accompany the lights and the pyrotechnics as well, so they could just put on a show and not just stand there and perform a direct copy of a song straight off their CD. There's a lot of changes that go into it, and to me, it made the experience better. Sometimes a guitar solo will be played different. Sometimes they'll drag out a part of a song just so they could do whatever it is they're doing on stage. And I first found it to be a lot of fun. So I do think that stuff, having all the extra flashiness in the show, can be great if done right. And yeah, you are right about some crappy bands do that stuff just so people forget the fact that they suck. But this particular band, I don't think they suck. I love them a lot, and I think the craftsmanship into the shows works well, and
maybe it's just
bands can pull it off. Other bands can't. I just felt like sharing my thoughts on it because you had me thinking about it.
I don't have problems with people enjoying concerts.
About it probably
they're just not for me.
10 episodes ago. But anyways,
I get like rearranging your stuff to kind of be more interesting to whatever showmanship, but me, I just want to hear like the songs that I've heard before. I don't want to hear the new guitar solo. I don't want to hear Jimmy Page get too high. You know what? I unplugged the thing that lets me hear Tim. It started buzzing. That's really annoying.
Yeah, there is a buzzing that came on during the voicemail. Oh, that killed it.
Well, that's weird. Let's end this then before... If you have to change your pants, you peed your pants. That's a fair point. Let's end this before this buzzing gets too bad. So until next time, I'm Tab Burt.
I'm Tim the Handle Breaker.
See ya.
Bye.